morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, possibly, whatever time of day you are in watching this video. Welcome, come in. This is Alicia with the Struggle Budget. And today I wanted to go through my cash stuffing of 2 binders, but a little, what is this? Budget review. What are we talking about here? Money, right? Okay, I just woke up a little bit ago. I can't drink coffee. I haven't had any caffeine. I might be a little slow, but I'm going to try to apologize for that in advance. So let's just jump right into it. I don't have a lot going on today. I should have maybe done a little bit of my happy mail, but maybe I'll do that in the other video that maybe won't be as long because sometimes I talk a lot about a budget, explaining certain things. This is a bi-monthly review of my budget and stuffing. And I did go through this stack and broke it out a little bit already because I find I'm not great at counting and thinking and talking. I'll start counting and my mind will start thinking of something else and then I get lost, and that's just a huge waste of time and frustrating for you and me. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to divvy this up, put it in the cash tray so I don't knock it over, because I am likely to do that, so with it sitting here. But I wanted to show you something before I did that. So I went to the bank yesterday, and do you see the white stripe in the middle here? I thought that was pretty interesting. I thought, because they went through, she was counting it through a machine, so it just, she didn't even touch the money and just to hand it to me. But as it was counting, I saw this white stripe and I thought, oh, those must be some new bills. And they are new bills. I wanted to show you because I thought that was so cool. And so then when I got home and actually had a second to look at them, I realized I'm not using these because I'm a big dork when it comes to money. They're all sequential. No one has touched these dollars before, these $5 bills. They're all in order. 20, 21, 22, all the way up to 58. I thought that was so neat. So I'm just not ready to part with them or use them yet. I'm going to put those back here for now, but I just thought it was fun. I might, like I said, be the only nerd that thinks that's fun. This is the money that we're going to be stuffing today. Sure doesn't look like much when you compare it to the whole pile that was here, but don't be deceived. I put the 100 on top, but this is a lot of ones for a lot of my savings games. So this, I didn't even count what this should be. Let's count that in a minute. I'm going to show you what else I broke out of here. So I have to put sticky notes on these or I will lose them and get lost. So these are for my savings funds, savings challenges. I have a $39 emergency fund that I'm starting. It's a binder. And I know that seems like nothing, but this is going to be like the way Steph's on a Budget is doing it, where she's doing like a debt snowball and putting $3 in each folder or each envelope. And then once you finish an envelope, you round that $3 up to the next envelope. I've been watching her do that for a while, and it's amazing how far $3 can go. So I decided, you know, I'm not saving any for emergency fund. Everything has been, what do you call that? Consumed by inflation. So almost all of my money has been redirected elsewhere with very little for savings. So I pulled that money out of the stack. These are my individual cash. I'll break those down a little bit. For my cash wallet. This is for my holiday binder because I'm so far behind. It's so new. I have a lot of ones in there. And this is for my daughter's binder that I am also kind of doing like a debt snowball. So I broke this one out because we're not doing the teal binder today because I can't get through all the binders and the budget at the same time in a reasonable time frame. And this is for my tax binder. So I also play games with my money that I'm going to have to send to taxes. So I broke all of those out of here because I found I was having a lot of difficulty managing this money. And that, so these are my, let's go here. Let's put this away. Do I want to put this away? Let's do these first and get them out of the way. These are my cash wallet. You'll notice I color code things. I use this on an Excel spreadsheet on my computer, but I don't like trying to use a computer while I'm stuffing the envelopes or talking on video. So I print this out for my easy reference. So I have my personal cash, which is a whole $13 because, you know, I really never buy anything, really. But I like to have a tiny bit of cash handy. Then I have tips, and I do have to label them until I put them away because I'll get it back and find a stack and have no idea what it's for. So these are the tips. You see there are lots of ones here because I don't know exactly how much I'm going to tip and for what. But for example, I do tip my groceries. I order online and go pick up. And the poor souls that come out in the 100-degree heat and humidity and putting everything in the back of my car for me, I give them tips. Not gigantic tips, but I find it worth it. And I do the online shopping because I'm able to control my grocery budget better. There's no impulse buys. I can look back through my list and see, hey, you know what? Did I hit start? No. Yes. You know what? I don't want to pay $10 for grapes this week. So that's why I have the tips, and that's why I do online shopping. Plus, it saves me 2+ hours on the weekend. I still have to come home and put everything away, which is fine, but I don't have to go in the store, shop for the items, which I meander through the aisles, and then check out, come home, load them all up, come home, unload them again, and put them away. Saves me at least 2 hours on the weekend. And then this one here is for eating out cash. I call it lunch because usually the only times that I eat out is when I am at the office or when I have to go into the office. That's often when I'm eating anything on the road. So it says eating out cash 200. I have 100 here. And I gave 100 to my daughter because what I have determined over time is that we were not encouraging, but enabling each other to go out and eat more on the road. Like we would come home late from school, from work, and she's like, Mom, can we just stop and get something? And you know, you don't have to twist my arm too hard because then I have to come home, cook, clean the kitchen, put everything away and get ready for the next day. So we were spending a lot of money on eating out. And 200 may still seem like a lot to you, but keep in mind, this is for 2 weeks plus. Because I get paid twice a month. I wish I got paid every Friday, but I only get paid twice a month. So that's usually about 15 to 16 to 17 days sometimes. So for 2 weeks, 2+ weeks, that's $50 for 2+ weeks for each of us. And what I have found is I told her, I said, you can use this money to eat out, or you can use and save this money and use it for things you want to buy. So it's almost like an allowance now at this point. But I don't want to call it that because at some point, if I need to pull this money back, I'll be pulling it back. But this has actually cut down on our bill and it's given her a little bit of freedom and incentive to save, which worked out really well. I'm excited by that. So this money here is going to go for the black binder and the navy binder. As you can, I have them out here. And I guess I'll count it because I am not the best at counting, however. Please keep in mind I lose track. I'm going to use this calculator. I used it in one other video and it failed me, or I failed it. So let's see. So we have 1, 2, 3, 400, 51, 52, 53, 300, see, it did it again. It's at 430. So I have 400 plus 300. Come on now. 400 plus 300, 700. I don't know why I didn't do that the last time. 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 82, 20, 40, 60, 260 plus 260. Okay, now we're working. Why do I have a 5 in the middle of everything? It's not one of my new 5s. What do I have here? What do I got going on? Thought I organized this, but apparently I did not. That was weird. So that was 260, and then we're gonna add another 20 to that because I'll get lost easily. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 70 tens. I don't even know if that's right anymore. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 and ones. All right, so if I was paying close attention, it's $1,061 that we're putting in to my 2 binders. Wow, that's a lot. I've never really looked at it that way. I guess I can confirm it because I have my total on each binder here. I said 1,061, 787 plus. I probably shouldn't do this because then I'll realize I can't count again. No, this says 1,366. Let's see. I know that there's not that much money in here. What did I do? Oh, because I don't have, that's why. Because I took out, so 1,366. Let's try it again. 1,366 minus the holiday binder and the taxes. $5 off. I can live with $5 because I can pull that out of my money here and figure out what I did with it. It's really a touch annoying when I can't get these numbers right. However, I have to let it go or I'll sit here all day trying to figure it out. So let's start with the black binder. The black binder are my bills. I'm gonna lay this down. The black binder are my bills that are for sure coming up or expenses I know I will have almost every month, or my quarterly bills that I sync for, and then a 1 annual bill envelope that encompasses a bunch of items so I don't have a bunch of envelopes sitting in here. Technically, I could do this for a lot of my items, but I really want to track individual ones that are super important that I need to watch. And I'll show you why. I mean, this one, gas and tolls, that is a variable one. But what I have figured by doing this is that I have my amount estimated a little too high for my current commute and my current gas usage, which includes my daughter's gas usage as well. So I had bumped it up in accounting for her and determined I'm a little high still. So for gas, I put in 165, and right now I put that in and I'm at 706 in this folder. I'm not going to be spending $706 in a month. However, this does also compensate if I take a trip somewhere, 4-hour trip, that's a whole tank of gas. All the way back is another tank of gas. So that's a couple $100 most likely for just that trip. I also do propane out of here, so if I have to get propane for the grill. And when we have a hurricane, which we just did, my gas usage goes up because I am filling generators. So I had 5 days with no power. That's actually quite a bit of generator usage. So thankfully I got a fuel efficient one, but it's also not a very large one. But this is a little bit of a buffer. So it's almost a little bit of a hurricane fund here as well. At the end of the year, if this continues like this, I will reevaluate the amount I'm putting in, and then I'll redistribute, or I'll just leave the money in this folder and add to it when it runs low. So this one is 165, and I have my breakout right here. So I make sure I grab the right denomination. So 150, 60, and 5. We'll put that in here. I like having a little bit of money in my accounts. This one keeps sinking because I have tried that factor delivery. So this is $250, so $250 for groceries for 2 weeks. Seems like a lot for 2 people, doesn't it? But I do a little bit of stock up when I see a sale. If it's something I'm going to use, I will stock up on it, and it has a longer shelf life, obviously. Or I can freeze it in the freezer if it's a meat or something, which is hardly on sale anymore. I was saying something and I completely forgot what I was saying. Gone with the wind. Anyway, household. I broke the household out of the grocery fund because I don't want to I want to see exactly what I'm spending on food alone. With the cost of inflation, I wanted to break out everything else and see just what food was going to be. So I'm putting 25 in here. And household is things like paper towels, toilet paper, bug killer, or any little thing for the house that I might get at the grocery store. So I do need to be taking a trip to Costco soon. I might stock up on some toilet paper, which, as you know, well, if you've ever been to Costco, you know, that is $30 a package or more possibly for toilet paper. I can't remember because it's been a while since I went. So personal hygiene, I also broke out of the grocery store food bill and put it in here separate. So I'm doing $13 into this one. 11, 12, 13. This is things like mouthwash, toothpaste, shampoo, soap, those kinds of things, because I strictly wanted to know what food was costing. And frankly, food has gone through the roof and it's become painful, which is another reason I started this in January, was going back to real envelopes. So $50 into Costco. I haven't been for a few months and I need to go because there's some things I need to stock up on. They have some good stuff in there that it's just better if I buy it there. It works great for my family. Like I said, the toilet paper, they have some great organic frozen broccoli. If I buy veggies at the store and I don't use them within a couple of days, they've gone bad. They just don't last like they used to. So it makes me wonder if they're coming here older or if there's some change in the grocery method. So garbage is a quarterly bill for me. This one I'm going to do a 10, a 5, and 3 ones. I break all of my bills up to the bi-monthly, so I'm putting them away twice a week, for like even for the quarterlies, because I want my paycheck to be broken down as evenly as possible every month, which is the reason I do things like my electric bill. Oh, I didn't go over this. I'll go over it real quick. These are my items. Here's my income, $26.41, and here's the amount I leave in the bank for the monthly bills that come out. It's $575 I leave in there, and I have electric, water, cell, internet, 3 subscriptions, lawn care, and my one and only debt of a medical bill. Well, I can't say one and only because I still haven't paid off my house, but this is the only medical, or the only bill that's not a credit. It's not a credit card. It's not a car. It's just a debt that's sitting out there that I'm paying for monthly. But every paycheck, I put half of each bill in the bank because these come out bill pay, or this one is actually paid by my credit card, but it's kind of a larger bill, so I leave it in here to pay directly to the credit card every month. And by doing this, then I have the same amounts to work with, which tends to make my budget a little bit simpler for my little pea brain sometimes. So on this one, this is haircuts. On average, we get a haircut every three-ish months, a little bit under 3 months. And by we, I mean myself and my daughter. And I'm really hoping I don't run out and do this wrong. I know I'm $5 off already, so I'll have to borrow $5. But it's a little nerve-wracking. So here's my one annual bill envelope, which includes a lot of things like car registration, my antivirus program, my Costco membership, my AAA membership. The car registration here, where I live, is only like $75 a year, which is amazing because when I lived in California, it was an entire another car payment plus sometimes. It was probably on my car now, it'd be probably be about $500 at least. Here it's $75, but you have to do an annual, I guess they call it a safety inspection, and that's only about $25. You have to take it somewhere, get an appointment. They check all your lights and that kinds of thing. They also had, every other year, they also had a smog check in California. I don't remember the cost of that, but that one was always nerve-wracking. My life insurance is $53 because that's paid quarterly also. That was nerve-wracking because if anything goes wrong, you'll have to fix it before you can, oh, it's open, can get your registration. So that could be a very pricey endeavor for those you poor souls still living in California. I feel for you. My car insurance, which is the most expensive darn thing in the world now that I added my daughter, that's $188. So $150, $60, $70, $80, $5, $6, $7, $8. I'm going to have to come back and condense some of these little envelopes. Like this one, I'm probably going to put a placeholder in and move that back into a higher return savings, which I don't have a lot. I mean, it's not a huge return, but it's better than just sitting here in this envelope. So I may have to do a condensing video. So that's all for the black one. I'm skipping my child costs binder for another video because I'm going to do that and my newer emergency fund video or binder at the same time in the same video. This one is more or less sinking funds. They're things that I know that are coming up that I will have to pay at some point. I already took out the holiday binder and the tax binder. I broke these into their own binders because they're larger amounts and I wanted to do something with them other than just let them sit here in a sinking fund. Sinking funds, I do enjoy doing them, but they're also not as motivating as games for me. So I pulled these out, and then I have $200 for other savings challenges, which now includes my emergency fund binder and one other thing. Oh, the minis, Monday minis, because I love that game. And then the rest goes to regular savings challenges. So this one, like I said, I do some prepping and stock up, but it doesn't always cover. What do I have in here? I have a 20 and a 5. It doesn't, my grocery bill doesn't always cover it, so I have this overflow fund if there's something really on sale that I really want to save. Because if I do it now and I save now, I'm saving that money from future purchases or just not being able to purchase it. So I went up a little bit on my pet costs savings or sinking fund because this is for like the food, the shampoo, whatever else we need for our pets. I'm telling you, I have 2 guinea pigs. I've had them for about 5.5 years now. And they're more expensive than my dog. The bedding, the food, the hay, the vitamins, the fresh veggies, they're way more expensive. Never again. So this one is my car maintenance. Car maintenance sneaks up on you. I'm not talking about just regular oil changes. I put oil change money in here as well, but I actually need to bump this one up more because if something comes up that's broken, it's thousands of dollars these days. And I don't mean a big break or like even brakes. I just got a quote for brakes on the front end of my car, and I think it was like $700 or $800. So that was only the front set of brakes. So I have to save for car maintenance constantly, and I need to bump it up because it's not enough. But I only have so much to spread. So house maintenance is these are just the simple house maintenance items, like again, pest control. If I have someone come out because I live in Bug Haven, I don't generally use the pesticide option unless I'm having an invasion of something. So things like just basic house stuff. I got some downspout plastic water redirectors for the bottom of my downspout so I don't erode the soil from away from my house. Just little things like that come up. I have a bigger fund that I save elsewhere because this is not my entire budget. This does not include house taxes, homeowner insurance, those kinds of things. I have a separate fund for those where money comes directly out of my check into that fund, and I don't carry a debit card for that account. I basically forget it's there. And then I make my house payment out of that account. So it's very automated. And I've put extra into that account to pay for, hopefully, in the future, things such as a roof, water heater, and air conditioning heating, because those things do tend to go out, and when they go out, they can be a budget buster. they can be something where you have to take a loan. So I don't want that. I want to try to save now. And since they're such a big item, I have to start saving now. Because as you see, I don't have a pile left over to put into that fund. So donations, it says $7, but that's because these are two particular donations that I do that I want to make sure I have the money for. And then other donations, you generally come around the holidays, and those come out of my holiday binder. I usually adopt a family if I can, a small family, do gifts and a meal if I can. Some years it's pretty tight, and I can't always find anybody. So here's a separate fund for my dog that is not pet costs. This is the veterinary fund. That is another budget buster. If your dog gets sick, it's just as expensive as going to the doctor. And I don't have the pet insurance because he's 11 now. So he's more likely to have to go to the veterinarian. And I don't want to have to choose between some simple treatments and my budget. So I'm putting money away. It needs to be more. I do have quite a bit in here, but I just had to take him because he had something the other day. I don't remember what the bill was, but it added up. So here's a minus 217 and a minus 168. So just a minor issue, and it was already $400. So I've got it built back up to 900, but I need to beef this one up because of his age. So I have an office fund basically for Etsy, which I don't think that's really office, but I'm calling it office because I don't know why. I guess because I kind of consider it business. If I want to do this as a business, which I haven't decided yet, I will be deducting those expenses as a business. So I haven't decided. I created an unexpected expenses folder, and I put $25 in there each month because I have found that I frequently have expenses that I did not account for in these 10,000 folders that I have here, these envelopes. And when that happens, it breaks my budget. I didn't have a category for it. But what happens is when I use an unexpected expense, I consider what that expense was and if I need to create a new folder for it or compensate in one of the other, I keep calling these folders, envelopes for it. So at least I'm not breaking my budget too much, but I'm aware it gives me a chance to set up a new folder if I need to. Envelope. It's an envelope. I do have an HSA account this year, but I'm building up my healthcare outside of the HSA account because sometimes things are not covered with an HSA. And I also may need some dental work in the future, which I don't very often, but sometimes it sneaks up on you. You break a tooth, you're SOL. I'm saving for tires because I did just replace my tires, but tires on my vehicle were, I think, $1,500 after taxes and installation, et cetera, et cetera. And I also have my daughter's vehicle now to consider for tires. And frankly, $42 a month, which is what this works out to, is not going to get me very far. That's less than $600 a year. So if mine are $1,500, I'm not sure how long these new tires are going to last. I'm going to have to maybe beef this folder up too because I just had to purchase them and I had to dump a bunch of money into that tire fund because I had not contemplated needing them when I needed them, or I also hadn't contemplated them being twice of what they had been previously. So I had to squeeze out of some other funds, which is why I'm so far behind on my holiday fund, was to get tires and a couple other things. This is just a little $5 clothing fund for myself. My daughter's binder is all in the teal binder, so all of her stuff is over there. I did not have a fun binder before. Folder, it's a folder. A fun, no, it's an envelope. Sorry. I'm gonna have to come up with a new name. I did not have a fun envelope before. And this was one of those things that was always hitting my unexpected expenses. We don't go out and do a lot of things, but like even going to the movies is super expensive just for tickets. Or if we wanted to go to a video game place or anything like that, anything just to get out and have some fun, go out to eat, we had no money. And I started it with 10 and realized it's going to take me a really long time to save anything at $10 or 20 bucks a month. So I bumped it up to 20 until I can beef it up this year, get a little bit of a cushion in there. And this is the tax, okay? And this is the gifts and Christmas. But I have this left. Where did I miss it? I'm gonna look real quick, and if I can't identify it quickly, I will figure it out off screen and put a note in the video what I did with it. Because I don't know how I do these things every time. There's gonna be no way that, unless I just skipped a folder, which it can happen. The veterinary fund I did, because I remember talking about it. Donations, house maintenance, car maintenance, pet costs. All right. Did I put money in that one? I did, didn't I? Yeah. All right, well, I'm going to have to go searching and find out where I missed this 20 bucks. But that is it for these two binders for today. Well, not it, because I'm still going on a scavenger hunt, finding out where I lost $20. Where did I not put it? Maybe I got it stuck from one of these other funds that I have here that I broke out of, and it should be in one of those. Anyway, that's it for today. If you have any questions, leave me comments in the email or in the comments section below. And then if you found this at all valuable or interested in seeing more videos where I play some more games, stuff some other binders in different ways, subscribe, because what I find is I can't find people. If I don't subscribe to them and I want to watch them again, I'm never going to remember their name. This is the Struggle Budget, but I can't ever find them again. And even with subscribing, sometimes I'm having trouble finding people because they're not showing up in my feed. So anyway, subscribe if you want more content like this or with games. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Thank you.